The 2022 kickoff season. All of the tour dates and schedules, truck reveals, and the World Finals all coming to you now. Now, in order to kick off this season, we're going to start off by showing you this year's Arena Series. And the Arena Series goes as followed. We're going to have Kristen Anderson driving Gravedigger, Tristan England in Earthshaker, Armando Castro in El Toro Loco, Bernard Light in Megalodon, Wrecking Machine, driven by, we still yet to be decided who's going to drive Wrecking Machine, Dave Olfert in Jurassic Attack, Kalen Miguez in Jailbird, and another to-be-announced truck on the Arena Series. Now, we're going to keep this up for a bit. We're going to talk about some new stuff. Number 1, Tristan England back in Earthshaker. And also number 2, Bernard Light is going to be driving Megalodon this season for the Arena Series. The Arena Tour is going to be taking place all across the country with dates coming on the site. And we're going to be having only a few shows here. And since the winner of this tour will be will get an automatic entrance into the World Finals, there will be no Young Gun Shootout this year. We'll get to more on that during the World Finals stuff. Now let's take a talk about the fact that Dave Olfert is on a full Arena Series for this season. And I think that he has a huge chance at taking home a win here in the Arena Series. But I think the most consistent driver on this series is probably got to be Tristan England and Earthshaker. He's won so many of these things, and I think he's got this one in the bag. But while we go, how about we talk about a stadium series? Our Stadium Championship Tour Blue will be taking place starting in Houston on January 8th and ending in Minneapolis on April 23rd, 2022. Now, notably, Lindsey Reed back on a stadium tour along with Caleb Blood and Soldier Fortune. Jim Kohler finally competing against his son, Chris Kohler, on the 2022 Stadium Series. And Mark List in stadiums for the first time for a full stadium tour, along with Colton Eichelberger, his second series in stadiums. Last year he won the Stadium Point Series Orange on the stadium tour. And Tyler Meninga also for his first time in stadiums. Now, I think personally that Colton Eichelberger and Tyler Meninga are going to be back and forth every weekend until the end of this point series, and it's going to come down to a close chase, I bet, in Minneapolis with the final stadium event of the Blue Tour. I think that all the dates right now will go Houston in January, on January 8th, Detroit on January 22nd, Glendale on February 5th, San Antonio on February 19th, Anaheim on March 12th, Arlington on March 26th, and Orlando on April 9th, and Minneapolis, the last show, is going to be April 23rd. And I think that a crucial show for this season is probably going to be in Orlando, because it might be the show before the final season's stop. But I think this is where the turning point is going to be in Orlando, where we might see a huge turning point. Now, we're also going to talk about the Stadium Series Yellow. Stadium Series Yellow is going to contain some brand new trucks. We'll get to those in just a moment. Adam Anderson driving Gravedigger, going up against Tom Metz and Max D. These guys are going to butt heads. I bet this is going to be another close point series. Weston Anderson is on a Stadium Series this year, driving Bog Hog. Again, last year he was an Octonator. Did pretty well. He's going to be here this season. And Charlie Pauken back in Monster Mutt. Camden Murphy driving Bakugan Dragonoid. We've seen a lot of well moments out of him this year. Corey Rummel driving Megalodon, and Craig Champion driving El Toro Loco. Craig Champion brand new to Monster Jam and now driving in stadium on the stadium tour with Corey Rummel. And Ryan Disharoon back in Saigon Shaker again. John Gordon in Bad Company back on another stadium tour. Todd LeDuc, he is always consistent. I think he might win this one. It's going to be him, Charlie Pauken. There's a whole lot of drivers who I think have this one in the bag, but I think honestly it'll probably end up being Adam Anderson or Tom Meents at the top again. Barry Musauer and Zombie, not consistent enough probably not consistent enough for a win. Now we're gonna talk about truck debuts and brand new trucks. Now you may notice that Lucas Oil Stabilizer was on there. We're gonna talk about that right now. Here is the Lucas Oil Stabilizer Monster Jam truck, gonna be debuting on the first show of the Stadium Tour Yellow, which we'll talk about those dates right now while we have this up. San Diego, it will start in San Diego on January 15th and end in New Orleans on April 16th. In between, Oakland on January 29th, St. Louis on February 12th, Daytona on March 5th, and El Paso on March 19th, and Anaheim on April 2nd, and New Orleans will be the final show on April 16th. Now, we have, I think that personally, that New Orleans is going to be the huge show of the year for them because they end a weekend before Minneapolis. They have less shows than Stadium Tour Blue. So this tour is going to be slightly shorter. And I think Todd LeDuc's going to have this one this year. Or I already said who's going to win. It's either Adam, Todd, or Tom. And while we're at it, let's talk about the 40th anniversary Gravedigger, who is going to be piloted by Adam Anderson and Tyler Meninga on the stadiums, and Kristen Anderson driving it in the arenas. Now, I think that this might not be the greatest thing ever, but I think that for an anniversary scheme, this is going to be a really great arena, or a really great truck for 2022. And now that we're on to that, let's talk about our final thing on this list of things we need to discuss for the kickoff show. The World Finals. The World Finals taking place in Tampa in May. And while we're talking about the World Finals, how about we take a talk about, just before we get to all the World Finals details, let's talk about our next major event of the season being the All-Star Challenge in New Orleans, Louisiana, in just a weekend, just 1 weekend. Next weekend, we're going to be seeing the All-Star Challenge in New Orleans. On the site, you can click the All-Star Challenge button and be brought to the page with the All-Star Challenge information, the day and the location and the lineup. Right now, the All-Star Challenge draft will be taking place on Wednesday. This Wednesday, the 22nd of September, where you will be seeing some of the most notable things on the site right now are that Elvis Linez will be driving Megalodon this season, or this show. Just for one show, he will be driving. He'll be driving the same thing with Tony Oaks. He will be driving Blue Thunder for one show. Tristan England will be back in Earthshaker. That will be his return to Earthshaker. Tyler Meninga will be driving Gravedigger. And Bernard Light will be at the All-Star Challenge driving Alien Invasion. We're going to be seeing all of these drivers and some people returning champions such as Cody Saucier and Ryan Anderson, as well as Brianna Mahan and Whiplash, and also the that's all of the champions. Whiplash, Son of a Digger, and so currently we have all of the teams set up at the bottom. Team Gears currently consists of team captain Tom Meents in Max D Gears, along with Whiplash and Soldier Fortune, piloted by Caleb Blood and Brianna Mahan. Tristan England will be driving Earthshaker. And on Team Galaxies, we have El Toro Loco as the team captain, Becky McDonough. Barney Musauer and Zombie. Cynthia Gauthier and Monster Dalmatian Galaxies. And then as well, going to be Tyler Meninga and Gravedigger driving. All of these trucks were revealed at the World Finals this year. And the 6-truck jump that Tom Mentz completed, they had that at the end of racing. So Monster Jam fans, there's a lot to look forward to in 2022, and we can't wait to see you. We still have a few events this weekend. Just this past weekend, we had Roanoke, Virginia, and Hampton. Great show there. On October 10th, we're going to be seeing Alberta, Canada, in with a great lineup there. A lot of the Canadian drivers returning, with Cam McQueen and Northern Nightmare going to make his return in Northern Nightmare there. Great Champion driving Brutus and Corey Rummel in Rage. Stacked lineup there. And then our fall tour will really start in Alberta, but will continue through Glendale on October 16th, and then Houston on October 23rd, and Arlington on October 30th. And concluding the stadium tour of fall with Orlando, Florida, Camping World Stadium. And then 3 more events at the end of the season: Reno, Nevada, Salem, Virginia, at the Salem Civic Center, and Minneapolis, Minnesota, our final season show, where we may be seeing Lucas Oil Stabilizer debut instead of Cynthia and Monster Met Dalmatian Galaxy. We're going to see all of that and more coming up this season, so stay tuned. Some of these events are going to be recorded and not streamed, which means that at the end of the year there will be probably a huge pile of videos premiered from this season. Essentially Monster Jam rewinds of premiered shows. So look forward to all of that at the end of the season, and we will also be having an award show at some point in November where we'll crown our Extreme Air Award winner, our Wheelie winners, Save of the Year Award winners, stuff like that. All of those awards will be given out later this year, and we'll have more information on that on the website. All of that information and more coming to you later. We'll see you on the track again in just a few weeks. We'll see you again on the road again just next weekend at the All-Star Challenge, where the next biggest event of the season, and then going onwards through the fall tour with obviously all the dates that I gave, and ending in December. This has been Monster Jam, and this has been the Kickoff Show.